welcome back to the vlog. Today we're in Costa Rica, La Fortuna, and I'm just gonna do a quick little skincare routine. Just glued my lashes on, and I thought I was filming this entire time, and I wasn't. So yeah. Anyways, you know, like on vacation when you just have that glow, I feel like that's starting to come in for me now. So maybe I won't even like do any makeup or too much makeup. Yesterday we went to the La Fortuna waterfall, and it was literally just like pouring rain in the jungle. We got soaking wet, but it was a really cool experience. Like, I've never done something like that before, and I like how it isn't, you know, a calm, just like beach type of activity. It's really like getting yourself out there and experiencing something different. So I really enjoyed, you know, getting a little rough in the rainforest. And you know, that's something about vacation that I like, is sometimes you have to get out of your comfort zone a little bit. By the way, I'm starting off with this milky skin toner from Chit. It is so good. It's better than the snail mucin toner that I was using before. I don't know, this just, do you see how it already glowed my skin? Like, although vacation is a fun thing and it's a blessing and it can be relaxing, I like how it puts you in an uncomfortable position sometimes for growth, you know, because you're in a new country, new people, new language. It's not your usual routine. And I feel like switching out your routine is what really helps you to like adapt and become an adaptable person who is, you know, able to move with whatever comes to them. Also, guys, are you supposed to use face oil if you're going outside in the sun? Or does that just cook your face? Because at home in Canada, I always put face oil on, or Aquaphor or Vaseline, and then I go outside. But now I'm starting to think, is that just baking my face? And if I'm in this high UV country, so I don't think I need this right now. Anyways, what's the next step of my skincare? Embryolisse, I love this. So yeah, although I really love going on trips, I feel like it always makes me feel a little bit uncomfortable in a good way, because I have to get used to a new surrounding and a new environment, and it's not just my same old comfort zone that I'm used to, right? And so that's why traveling is just so good for the soul. Guys, this view also is, oh, you hear that? That's the locals. Yeah, this view is just beautiful, like volcano, mountains, and something that's very contrast from Canadian, like agriculture or whatever, greenery, nature, is that there's so much more color here. And just when you're going on a drive, or like even just in our backyard right now, there's so many colorful species of plants, and it's just so beautiful to look at. Like, I'm getting so much dopamine right now. Guys, I got this in my Sephora order with my points. I didn't know that on Sephora you can use your points to buy like mini products, and I feel like I should have just got the big one of this. Oh wait, I think I should put my regular scent. Okay, next product. Yeah, and another thing I love to do on vacation is journal and reflect, you know? So I've been journaling in the morning and in the evening. I feel like it gives a different vibe when you're in a different country and reflecting on your life than when you're just like sitting in your bedroom or something like that, you know? And I think just being surrounded by all of this nature, I don't know, like the frequency and the energy is just so different. You know how nature and like trees have a different frequency? That's true, right? Like, I've heard that before. I feel it. I feel it. It feels so good. Like, alhamdulillah, subhanallah, all the nature, it's so beautiful. Guys, also, let me put you on the prayer that I made during Ramadan and that I always make. And it's gotten me vacation after vacation, you know? So the prayer is, I ask God to basically just give me the opportunity to see his creations. Because when you frame it like that, like you want to see God's glorious creations, you know, it's better than just asking like, oh, I want to go on vacation. Like, I want to be a spoiled brat. I feel like when you're asking in a way where you're calling on your Lord and calling on his, you know, power and all the things that he has provided for you, that's a good way for your Lord to answer your prayers beautifully. And subhanallah, alhamdulillah, like, my prayer's been answered. And I even, like, every Ramadan, the past 2 Ramadans, I've been making this prayer, and I'm very grateful that my prayers have been answered, and I'm living in so many answered prayers. Oh my God, on that note, another thought that comes to me on vacation is that when we're in the West, we just get so caught up with life, and we think that this rushed life is so normal. We think that, you know, big careers and education and money, all of this is just a normal thing, and that everyone, it's like your rite of passage. But then you come to these countries and you see how they're living, like the locals, and you realize that there's so many other ways that people live without so many things right at their hands, at their fingertips. Like in the West, in Canada, in the US, you have so many opportunities available to you, and you have the ability to change the trajectory of your life with ease, honestly, compared to here where you're kind of just confined to where you're born and to your country. I saw this TikTok as well, and it said that it's kind of sad how as a tourist you come into someone else's country and you have the ability to see more of their country than the local does in their whole lifetime. And that just shows how blessed and privileged that we are. And so that's why I just love how much gratitude I'm able to feel. Like my heart feels like it's being softened because I'm seeing the position of these locals and how they're living. And, you know, I'm not saying it's bad. Like I pray, I hope that they have a beautiful life, you know, a soft, slow life. That's how I imagine it. I imagine they have a very slow life here where you just like take it day by day, you know. You're not really working to climb a ladder here. You're just working to live comfortably and to just enjoy what God has given you. And I really love that. And I feel like that's something that I, like a piece of perspective that I want to take from this trip, is that there's more to life than just climbing a ladder, you know? That's not your purpose. It's humbling because you're coming with so much privilege into this new place. But it's so important to stay humbled, so. Okay, what's next? Should I just bronze a bit? Like, I feel like my skin feels good. Wow, oh my God, I'm looking golden, what the heck? So the thing is, here in Costa Rica, it rains in the morning. Or does it rain in the morning? Like, it rains really on and off because we're in the wet season. The wet season has just started. So, I don't really know, like, do you tan if the UV is high, like when it rains? I don't really know. Honestly, my skin feels good. I also got this from the Sephora points. Maybe let's just put on a bit of bronzer. Should we do the Mario bronzer? Or like a powder? Maybe just this. Bro, my luggage was overweight, and so I had to take stuff out. So I had to take out my like makeup brush holder, and I just put them in this little Ziploc bag. But one thing about me is I am an overpacker, unfortunately. I also cleaned all my brushes before I came. Well, I used them yesterday, but oh my God, guys. The way I've had this for months, and I just discovered that it comes with a brush. But I don't know, do I want to use this brush? Or should I use mine? So yeah, I'm just so grateful to be here. And it's important to find that balance between gratitude and humility, but also believing that you deserve it and believing you deserve your prayers answered. And I think that's what I've been really working on lately, is finding the balance between that, because it's really hard to live in abundance. And I mean, I find it difficult to live with the full belief that I deserve good things and that I deserve, you know, an extraordinary life of my dreams. I find it difficult to fully embody that. And I spoke about this in a past video about how if you feel that way, if you feel that fear, that's actually just your lack of trust in God. And I think I've been working on it, honestly. I've been working on it, but it's a lot easier said than done. Should we chisel the jawline a bit? And honestly, lately I've just been like grounding myself. As soon as I feel like I'm starting to have fear or anxiety about something not happening for me or something bad happening for me, I just stop and I just like really reflect, and I take a minute and I tell myself, this is not aligning with your values. What happened to your detachment mindset? What happened to not holding on and grasping to things that are not meant for you? Like, that's what you preach. That's what you're supposed to be believing. So why are you not believing that? So I just like really lock myself in for a sec, and I'm like, stop, don't worry, stop grasping so hard onto what you really want or what you're scared of happening, because like it's just so unproductive. It's so unproductive to worry, and it's so unproductive to live with fear. It gets you literally nowhere. And you literally create what you believe. Like God will give you what you're constantly believing and thinking of, you know? So you don't want to accidentally pray for something wrong. But obviously at the end of the day, like everything that's meant for you will come to you. But there's ways to change your outcomes. You can't just say, oh, like it was fate, when you have been given the tools by God to change your outcome, right? So it's just about not living in that victim fear mindset. It's about like constantly grounding yourself, catching yourself. And ever since I've been doing this content and reflecting and journaling, I've been honestly catching myself a lot more. And that's why, guys, please, 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 please don't sleep. Don't sleep on journaling, because genuinely, it's the only way that you can catch yourself. It's the only way that you can have clarity and certainty. Because that's the other thing. Let's talk about certainty. Uncertainty, even it can be solved even if you don't figure out the answer to everything. And so we feel like certainty is knowing everything that's going to happen, like feeling confident and knowing, you know, what's going to pan out. But that's actually not our job. Like that's not how God created us. God didn't create us to have like this vision of the future. That's God's job, right? So it's like you have to take a step back and realize your responsibility and position as a creation, because you're the creation, you are not the creator. And you have to start familiarizing yourself with this uncertainty, but also you can actually feel certain without actually knowing what's going to happen next in your life. And again, that certainty is just rooted in your reflection and your values, you know, reflecting on your values so you can act on your values, and your mindset, values, mindset, you know, all of that. And also, again, the trust in God. Like you can only feel certain if you trust God's plan and you trust that you are acting in accordance to how God would want you to act and to how your values want you to act. Because sometimes we have these values, but we're not acting in accordance with them. And that's where that cognitive dissonance comes in. So let's talk about cognitive dissonance again. It's that feeling, I used to talk about this all the time in the beginning of this channel. It's that feeling where you're not meeting who you want to be or your expectations, right? And I think the reason some people are so bitter is because they experience cognitive dissonance and they don't feel content within themselves, and then it becomes a projection onto others. And that's also why people tend to want to micromanage and control others, is because they're not meeting their own expectations, and they feel like the only way that they can meet the standard is by then controlling other people. And honestly, I never thought I was a very controlling person, and I never thought that I was grasping onto things. But then I started to realize slowly, like, these things were trickling in. And that's why, you know, I'm not a perfect person. None of us are perfect. It's okay. It's okay if you're self-sabotaging. It's okay if you are treating others poorly. It's okay if you're acting like a victim. But it's not okay if you let it continue. Yeah, it's only okay if you take action on it and change it. So pull out the journals is the point, and put yourself in uncomfortable situations. I'm just trying to fill in my eyebrows so that they're a bit lighter. I wanted to dye them before this trip, but I was scared that doing that right before going on vacation was a bad idea, because I don't know, what if my eyebrows go orange or something? But yeah, anyways, let's become familiar with uncertainty, and let's just trust God. And we're gonna become new people with new lives. Perfect. Okay, I think we'll just end this off with a lip combo. That looks good. Very cute. Wow. This is actually so good. I got this from Walmart. And this is literally the best lip liner ever. It's Makeup Top by Morphe. That's what I got on my Sephora order. Okay, cute. I think I just need a little darker around the edges.